Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the Synastry chart between Shannen Doherty and her ex-husband Kurt Iswarienko. I didn't know anything about their relationship until after she passed, and I found out that she had finalized the divorce the day before she died, and then all of a sudden things started flooding into social media about his crummy behavior. So I had to dig deep into this Synastry chart and see what I found. And this is just, it's unbelievable to me the way it all unfolded. So I'm going to get into it. His Nessus conjuncts her midheaven, and Nessus has to do with abuse. Now, the midheaven sits right at the top of the chart, and since Nessus is conjuncting her midheaven, everyone saw the abuse that he put her through. It wasn't physical, but the way he handled that relationship while she was with a terminal disease and he cheated on her, that's abuse to me in the highest form, because she spent the last couple of years of her life without any emotional or monetary support from him. Now, her Sirius Dejanira conjuncts his Venus and Hades. So she loved him. Sirius is a love asteroid, and she brought that love to him because it's conjuncting his Venus, the love planet, but Dejanira is holding hands with Sirius. So she's going to end up being a victim in this relationship. This is precisely why I think everyone should get a Synastry chart before they get married, because the chart always plays out. Not only does her Sirius and Dejanira conjuncting his Venus, but it conjuncts his Hades. So this means that the love between the two of them, it's going to end badly. Now her Atira and Megara conjuncts his Sun. Also in this, her Aletko conjuncts his South Node and Tisiphone. So we have in this chart the three Greek Furies all together. And I don't think that I've ever seen this before. If you're not familiar with the Greek Furies, in Greek mythology, they would go around the land and they would punish people for the misdeeds that happened, that people would do to others. They would punish them. So in this case, I see punishment between the two of them. They're punishing each other, and there's money involved because her Atira is conjuncting his Sun, and that's a very important luminary, and there's punishment that goes along with this. Now, on his South Node is the asteroid, the asteroid Tisiphone, one of the Greek Furies. And whatever conjuncts your South Node, you'll be very comfortable with those energies. So they brought each other punishment through the settlement of the divorce, and there was money involved, and this eventually played out. Now, her Saturn is conjuncting his asteroid Banks, and that has to do with money. Saturn is it puts a halt on things. It restricts, binds. So she wanted alimony or spousal support, and he withheld that from her. And that's her Saturn conjuncting his Banks. That explains how that came into play. Now his Chiron, Baton Katos, the fixed star, conjuncts her Sun, Boda, and Law. Whenever I see Chiron conjuncting a luminary in a Synastry chart, it just makes me cringe, because more often than not, Chiron is going to bring a lot of pain to the other person involved. It can sometimes bring healing, but I've seen a lot of pain involved when Chiron is involved. So his Chiron is conjuncting her Sun, pain. Baton Katos, the fixed star. In Synastry, Baton Katos has the energy of being held hostage or delays involved. There's this that's the negative side of it. In crime charts, Baton Katos has to do with being abducted by force. But here, Catos and Chiron conjuncting her sun, she was a victim because of her Dejanira conjuncting her Venus, his Venus. So she was a victim of pain through being held hostage in the marriage and with the law involved, the divorce element, because that's the energies that this aspect represents. His Catos, Chiron conjuncting her sun and her Boda, and Boda has to do with marriage, and there's law involved. So she experienced a lot of pain from him in that instance. Now, her point of fortune is conjuncting his Eros and Nephili. And Eros has to do with eroticism. And Nephili is like a mini Neptune. So there's a lot of smoke blowing and fogginess and illusion. And since her point of fortune is conjuncting that, it magnifies those energies. So he had a lot of eroticism towards her. He felt that. But there was a lot of smoke blowing. He very vague or not forthcoming with the way the relationship eventually unfolded. Also, his Zeus conjuncts her descendant at 0 degrees. And this is where the cheating comes in. I think he said he denied it. He goes, no, I did not have an affair. I didn't cheat on her. But Zeus conjuncting her descendant, that's classic for cheating. And if I had to put money on it, I would say there is no way I'm going to believe anything he says when it comes to being unfaithful. And what about the woman that he had an affair with? This is just like the ultimate in disrespect, and it's awful. There's just a total lack of human capability, no class. And honestly, I think she was better off without him. So, cheating. And now in her natal chart, this is important because whatever conjuncts your descendant, those energies you will look for in another partner, or it will come into your orbit. Now, her Zeus, Melpomene, and Night conjuncts her descendant. So this means that she was looking for a knight in shining armor. She wanted the chivalrous man to sweep her off her feet and be there for her. But Night is conjuncting Melpomene, and Melpomene has to do with tragedy, and Zeus is there as well. So unfortunately, she was looking for the knight in shining armor, but a lot of that came with tragedy and cheating. Now his Juno, Ceres, and Jupiter conjuncts her Venus, and it also conjuncts her vertex and the asteroid Humpty Dumpty. So I'm going to tell you what this means without the Humpty Dumpty, if anybody else looked at this. So there's Juno, Ceres, unconditional love. Jupiter magnifies whatever it touches. It's conjuncting her Venus and vertex. So this is what is coming into the relationship for her. Love, definitely marriage, because Juno is conjuncting both her Venus and her vertex. Now she thinks in this aspect that he is like the ideal partner for him. He could be like the perfect knight in shining armor and a great husband, because that's the energies that Venus conjuncting Juno have. She thinks that he could be the perfect husband for her. However, Humpty Dumpty is there, and we all know what happened with Humpty Dumpty. He fell off the wall, had a great fall, and you couldn't put him back together again, no matter how much glue. So right here, this tells me that this relationship, the marriage, after they got married, it would end, and it would not end in a good way, and there was no way that you could put this back together. Now his Icarus and Melpomene conjuncts her North Node, and this means the theme of the relationship for her would be a tragedy, because that's what Melpomene means. I've already explained that. But Icarus is there as well, and that has to do with taking chances, rolling the dice, taking a gamble on the situation. and it could be rash and impulsive behavior. So that's what the theme of the relationship for her was. It didn't pay off. She took a chance, and there was a huge tragedy involved between the two of them. Now, her Casanova and Tyche conjuncts his North Node. So the theme of the relationship for him had to do with money, and there was basically cheating. Whenever I see a woman's Casanova conjuncting the man's North Node, this signifies to me that he's the cheater. Because I've seen this a few times before. So he cheated, and money. There was money and the tragedy involved with it, and the withholding, and the lawsuit, the divorce proceedings, all had to do with that, and the money, and obviously the cheating. Now, his Mars conjuncts her Don Quixote. His Mars is in Leo, so he likes beautiful women on his arm. He wanted eye candy, and he got it in this relationship with her. But it's conjuncting her Don Quixote, and Don Quixote has to do with it's the impossible dream, seeing things for what they aren't really. They're not really what is it's not realistic, and it can also mean unrequited love. Now, his Don Quixote conjuncts her ascendant. So we got like this double whammy sort of energy going on here. He brought that right into the relationship because it's conjuncting her ascendant. And like I said, Don Quixote, there's illusions, there's fogginess. It's the impossible dream, and it didn't work out the way that she wanted it to. And they became estranged because in the declination department, his Mercury parallels her Apophis. And when you have a connection between Mercury and Apophis, that means no talking. And all of a sudden, just ending, cut off, estrangement. And it's further validated by his Shannen PNA is opposing her Apophis at 1 degree. So there's this guaranteed chaos, destruction, and estrangement between the two of them. And to top it off, her Mars is conjuncting his Atropos. Atropos has to do with cutting the cord, determining the life of someone, or the life or how long something would last. And her Mars is conjuncting his Atropos, and Mars is a masculine energy. So she cut the cord and ended this relationship because of the abuse, cheating, and just it was a tragedy. So I hope she rests in peace, and that's all I have today. And I will be back shortly with other Synastry charts, so hit the subscribe button and share and like, and I will be back soon. Have a nice day.